Hello, and welcome to Independent Talent, the most action-packed indie wrestling podcast on the entire fucking planet. If you're pregnant, have high blood pressure, or experience dizziness, then you've been warned, because your ear holes are about to be crammed full of the #1 local wrestling show in the Mid-South. Now, here's your host, hailing from parts unknown, Lemon Juice McGee.
Welcome to episode 12 of Independent Talent Podcast, the newest and best professional wrestling podcast that covers the Mid-South-ish area of the United States. I'm your host, Lemon Juice McGee, and with me tonight is the fighting man, Matt Pierce.
Yeah, I kind of got a problem.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, Hogie's back.
I can't hear you. What?
Hogie's back.
Hogie?
Yeah, he's...
That motherfucker's suspended. What? For being stupid?
I hope so, because I got Vic Steamboat coming.
Vic Steamboat?
Yeah, 106.
106!
Yeah.
Vic Steamboat!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Vic. Oh, Hogie. Hey, Hogie.
JD Thunder, you dirty Confederate son of a bitch.
Hogie,
I gotta go call Vic.
yeah. Tell Vic, tell Vic we'll call him.
Will we, though?
He's 106, son.
Yeah, he's
We'll call him.
106.
That's true.
We'll call him.
106. He's 106 suspended.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call him.
So I guess, Hogie, I mean, you're here.
Yeah. I had to fight through security.
Look. Okay. Do you have a Who's the Strap-On prepared?
I do. It's a pretty damn big one.
You've prepared a strap-on?
Yeah, it's
a big strap-on?
It's a big fucking strap-on.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll let you hang out. I guess? Is that all right with you, Matt?
Yeah. No, Vic, not you. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
You know what? I mean, you've missed so much. You missed us talking about Now with John Morrison, a.k.a. Johnny Mundo, going up against the Loverboy Brock Landers, the main event of Now. You missed an interview, a kick-ass interview, on episode 11 with Sexy Stan Sierra.
It's true.
Where he gave out the secret info that Mr. Higgins, his trusted axe handle, was named after his cock.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It is awesome, and I don't know if you can come back from that. Like I don't.
Yeah.
You're like a fucking newbie here.
Yep.
I don't know.
We'll walk you through the ropes like a baby, though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. In fact, we're gonna talk now about a show that we hit up that you missed because of your fucking suspension.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess let's get into the first Makin The Towns.
Yep.
Makin The Towns.
And here we are with Makin The Towns, the portion of the show where we cover events that we personally attend. This very special primetime wrestling event took place September 19th in Winchester, Kentucky at their YMCA gymnasium. Very nice building. Was part of their month-long fundraising for the fight against ovarian cancer. Benefits ovarian cancer research. So, good cause. Independent Talent was there. We were selling shirts, CDs, whatnot, with all of our proceeds also going to the cause, also shooting photos. You can see tons and tons of those photos in an album, oddly enough, labeled Primetime Wrestling 9/19/15 on our Facebook page, Independent Talent Podcast. And you can see some of this shit that we're talking about that we won't do justice by using our mouth holes. Matt and I were there.
Yep.
Because,
Hogie was suspended.
Because Hogie was fucking suspended.
Yep.
So Hogie can sit here and fucking hear about all this shit that he didn't get to watch. So, not wrestling. We get there, we set up. I gotta say, one of the nicer buildings we've been to.
Definitely. It's the Winchester YMCA. Great setup. Had air conditioning, thankfully.
It was very clean.
Yep.
Everything looked... everything... As far as the facilities themselves, even the stuff that we have nothing to do with because we're there for the wrestling, such as the basketball goals and the padding on that, and just everything was clean and pristine and non-fucked up.
Yep. Well lit.
Well lit. Concessions run well, run by the building staff.
Yep. That's the thing too. Building staff were on hand, so they were making sure everything stayed smooth and everything stayed clean.
And they were sweeping up. Yeah, they're sweeping up during and all that. It had fold down bleachers that were able to be rolled out.
Yep.
They had 3 bleachers on 3 sides. The crowd got to capacity to where they brought in another bleacher to set kind of like catty cornered.
Yeah.
And it filled up really quickly. There was a large group that came all together apparently, and they was like, we're going to sit right here.
Yep.
We'd been to PTW previously. I'd been in the Nicholasville show. We talked with Brocklanders about the show, and it went well. This just as good. The same stuff we talked up before happened again. Primetime wrestling, consistently good. 2 for 2 anyway on our part. The night kicked off with Triple R, along with Lexi Green, his accompaniment valet / manager /
partner in crime.
Yeah, / heavy on occasion, I guess.
Yeah.
Comes out, gets on the mic. More people come out. We got All-American Brandon Taggart.
Yep.
Comes out, followed by massive crowd favorite Chucky Smooth.
Yep.
Comes to the ring.
Giant fur coat.
Which I mean, how could you not cheer for a guy in a giant fur coat?
Yeah, I mean,
it's tough. It's tough to keep that in.
Just visualize it, Hogie. Visualize that giant fur coat that you didn't get to see because you were suspended.
Yeah.
Be like a cool looking pimp or something.
Yeah, he was a cool looking pimp.
Basically, his character is a cool looking pimp.
That's awesome.
Yeah. A cool looking pimp / 80s rapper, I think, is how I picture him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how we picture him.
That's how we picture him. You, who knows how you picture him because you haven't ever seen him.
Yeah, you don't know what he looks
Very
like.
true.
We could be making him up right now for all you know.
Chucky Smooth doesn't exist for all you know. You don't know. Because you weren't here because you don't know how to answer a goddamn question when somebody asks you.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Speaking of Chucky Smooth, he pulled out the win. Took out Brandon Taggart because there were some shenanigans going on around the ring.
Well, Triple R and Max Sled have had this ongoing feud. Yeah. And Triple R had the match in hand. But then Max Sled came out and he didn't really attack him. He just kept on chasing him.
Yeah.
Like, he never touched Triple R. At least I'm pretty sure he never actually got a hold of him. He ran him around the ring a few times, ran him into the ring, but never actually was able to get it. But it did keep Triple R from picking up the win, though.
Yeah. He was distracted in fear of Max Sled. And, Chucky Smooth picked up the win against Taggart.
Taggart, who took a beating from Lexi Green on the outside.
He did.
She beat the piss out of him.
She beat the bald eagles out of him.
Yeah.
So Max Sled's in the ring. This stuff's over. Chucky Smooth win. Max Sled's like, no, I want you in here, Triple R.
Yep.
Nope. He had a match.
Yep. So
Triple R stays out there. Run in by the opponent. I'd never seen him before. New indie wrestler to me, anyway. The Maniac.
The Maniac.
There was a name attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not catch it. I've been able to find it upon my research. Hogie Masters, the resident wrestling historian, whose job is to make sure we have these names right. Speaking of names right, on a previous episode, episode 10, the first episode you were suspended on.
Yes.
When we talked about the Now show, the New Origins wrestling show, that you attended.
Yes.
We got a name wrong, and I blame it entirely on you. We called Devin Blake. Devin Blake, who we've seen at WCCW, we've seen it now. We called him John Blake. John Blake is the name of Joseph Gordon-Levitt in Christopher Nolan's Batman movies.
Yep.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like we didn't that means we didn't talk him down.
Yeah.
I mean, conceivably, judging by their storyline, he was the future Batman. But his name was Devin Blake.
Yep.
And that's on you, Hogie.
It is. You know
I hope you feel that in your heart.
Do you know how much paperwork it took to suspend you? We talked to 3 lawyers and like a fucking priest.
Yeah, it was embarrassing for us just as much as it was for you.
Yeah. But
you ruined it for us.
Yeah, you did.
You and your JD Thunder feud have it's boiled over onto the show, Hogie, and if you had a title, I would strip you of it right now.
I would strip myself.
In fact, we'll give you a title, then strip it.
I feel like a pathetic loser in my life.
Well, you're no longer getting podcast money. You're still docked pay.
Yeah. You're not back in our good graces as of yet.
I mean,
just like now, this guy, the Maniac. I don't know the rest of his name. You know why I don't know it? Because you don't know it. Because that's your goddamn job.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Anyway, Max Sled fights this Maniac. This Maniac has a mask. He's fighting him. He's got
Al Snow head.
He's got an Al Snow-ish head.
Yeah.
He's also wearing tattoo sleeves, which I gotta say, guy, that's not cool. They're just not cool. Don't wear those. If you don't have actual tattoos, don't wear those sleeves.
He had a cool button down though.
He did. His mask actually was.
He
awesome.
had a good look.
The look was good. The tattoo sleeves though, just don't wear those again. Just wear a long sleeve shirt or something. Just don't. And for someone who has actual tattoos, don't. Unless you're covering up swastikas with those sleeves. Even then, just wear black sleeves. It works out better for everybody. In fact, it could have cost you. It may have been what cost you the match. I'm not saying it did or it didn't. I'm just saying that maybe those tattoo sleeves cost you the match. I don't know. But because Max Sled won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
However, it didn't end great for him because Triple R got back in there and there was a mutual beatdown across the board.
Mm-hmm.
The Maniac and Triple R with Lexi Green walked out of there defeated yet as champions as they were not kicked to pieces. So
That's true.
I'm sure this Max Sled Triple R thing is just boiling up, leading up to something big. We had an intermission. There's some fundraising going on.
Yeah.
Working out well. Mm-hmm. Stuff going great for the night. They actually did more intermissions on this show than they did at the previous show, I noticed, but it worked out well because in those intermissions, they were able to do the fundraising. Part of the fundraising was people buying things, and so it gave people the time to get up, check stuff out. Mm-hmm. You know, it worked out good. We come back from intermission, and we have Larry D out there ready to go. He was talking a little bit about Stanciera and how he hit him right in his face with his belt and how, that's the way that shit went.
He says sometimes you just got to put a horse out to pasture. Mm-hmm. You got to put down a lame deer sometimes.
A lame deer? You do, I assume.
He didn't. I don't think he said that.
I don't think he said that. But you said it already, so let's just go with that.
Yeah, you got to put them down sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes a deer, you just gotta put them down. Like if you have a deer and you can only ride it to work so much before eventually its legs are going to give out.
Once. That's exactly how much once.
Once is the number.
I mean, I'll work like 400 miles away from my house. So
That's true. This studio is not easy to get to.
That's on the moon.
Yeah. So Larry D's out there, he makes his verbal stance against Sexy Stanciera, who we had on episode 11 of Independent Talent. If you hadn't had to listen yet, you really should. However, time for the match. Who's coming out? He doesn't give a shit who's coming out.
That's right.
But then he gave a shit a little, as it turns out, it was the return of Donnie Green, who the crowd was totally into.
Yep.
Big fan favorite. Veteran of the business. Got in there with Larry D.
They call him a second generation star.
Second or third?
Second or third, yeah. Yeah.
He's comparable in size somewhat to Larry D. Mm-hmm. So even matchup.
Yep.
They got to it. There was a lot of the running around a little bit. Larry D gets out when he gets in, and a lot of that.
There's some really good chain wrestling at the very beginning.
There was.
Yep.
There was. There was also the awesome rope combo thing that was going down.
Oh, yeah.
Where they were running the ropes and ducking and dodging, jiving. And for two guys that size, you don't expect the type of cardio work that they were putting in.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really impressive match.
Yeah. It overall was great. And then, of course, once they got through with that, then it got into the ham-fisted badassery as they beat the shit out of each other for quite a while.
Yep.
Donnie Green looked strong through a lot of it, but Larry D, man, those right hands just repeated. Finally, just worked their way up until Larry D sprint him down, took the win.
I mean, Donnie was just comparable size, sort of. Larry is a little bit bigger though, and the size advantage came into play. And there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, Larry's not comparable to too many people, as he's kind of a monster.
Yeah.
That all ended, and then the Primetime Wrestling Champion, new friend of Independent Talent Podcast, Sexy Stinson
from Studsville.
Minus Mr. Higgins. He did not have Mr. Higgins.
Family show.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, technically, he always has Mr. Higgins. Came to the ring, gets on the mic, and, he just straight up admits that, Larry D whipped his ass. He wasn't expecting it. Larry D took him out. It is what it is. And that Larry D will get his when the time comes. Yep. And he puts the open challenge up, too. He doesn't care who he's going to fight. He's a fighting champion. There you go. And lo and behold, who comes out? The monster heel who we have seen at a number of promotions we've covered on this show. We've seen him tear ass at KZW. We've seen him tear ass at New Origins Wrestling.
WCCW.
We've seen him tear ass at WCCW. And now we've seen him tear ass at Primetime Wrestling. Fiji Wildman.
Oh. Who did bring his kendo stick.
Yeah, he doesn't go anywhere without that.
Yeah.
However, he's good about gets in the ring, takes his mask off, takes his skirt thing off, puts up the kendo stick. They get into the wrestling.
Yep. It's pretty good match too, back and forth. Nobody really. I mean, Fiji got some early dominance in, but then Stan comes back. Stan's getting ready to hit his finish.
Yep, and Larry D makes his presence known once again.
Yeah, he does.
Gets in there on Stan. Fiji gets the kendo stick. Lays out Stan. Puts it across his throat a few times.
Yep.
Does the white Russian leg sweep with the kendo stick.
Yeah.
It ends Fiji holding Stan prone, arms behind his back. Larry D hitting him with the title. Speaking of the PTW title, it's really fucking nice.
Yeah. Gorgeous belt.
Gorgeous belt that Stan has seen really, really close as it went right across his forehead. There was a lot of this. This went on for a while. I almost expected at any moment for somebody to come out and lend a hand, but
well, I mean, against Fiji and Larry, man, that's
true. Plus, it's one of those things where Stan's, I guess he's been such a badass for so long that you don't make a lot of friends in the locker room.
That's true.
So
true, he's fighting a war by himself.
Yeah, so it may remain to be seen who would be willing to stand up if this situation occurred, again, or in some tag team situation. So Stan picked up the victory, did not lose his title, but lost to DQ, and was actually had to be helped to the back by security. So that was a big thing. One thing I'll talk about before we get to the main event is while the crowd was very generous with their donations, they were not generous with any type of fucking participation.
No, I don't know what was wrong with the crowd. All night long, they were flat.
And these were really good matches.
Yeah, they were fucking awesome matches.
And none of the matches lasted too long. There was no... It seemed like, I mean, the general entrances would get some hype. And like when People would be on the mic or be yelling at the crowd. Larry D got some of the crowd really riled up. One lady in particular I thought was going to have a seizure. But it was a lot of that. When the actual wrestling was going down, I mean, man, it's disheartening sometimes to see that.
Yeah, and sometimes this happens, and it's, well, the match is a little bit too long, or, it's too late. Now, none of that was the case. This is on you, Winchester. You just dropped the ball as far as...
Yeah. I mean, if you came out for a fundraiser, well, we applaud you on that.
Yeah.
When you're at a wrestling show, like, try to pretend like you're into a wrestling show.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just going to push everybody to perform at a bigger level if you're into it. Like,
Yeah.
And it was good anyway. Like, I don't know.
I mean, how would you like it if someone came to watch you at your fucking job and, like, act like you didn't want him there or something, you know? Like,
Yeah. No, and speaking of, main event.
Yep.
Okay. We had ATM
Yep.
versus Winchester's own Bo Bond
Yep.
in a street fight.
Don't see it many street fights.
No, you don't. They also dressed the part of the street fight.
Yep.
Wrestling boots, but otherwise jeans, wife beater, hoodie, you know, basically regular
tape
street
fist.
clothes, tape fists. Bo come out with trash can with some goodies in it.
ATM had a tennis racket.
ATM had a tennis racket in honor of his manager who had been banned from being at the Winchester
Restraining
show.
order, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Cornette was not available to be there. So ATM was representing with the tennis racket, which oddly enough, the tennis racket, the one weapon in the whole place, never got used. So maybe it contained Cornette's soul, and if he busted it, it would have just...
They threw it around a little bit, and he messed around with it at the beginning, but...
Yeah, there was so much in there that they just... Yeah.
It started out hot.
It did.
Super hot.
It did. Lots of fists, lots of... Yeah, it was fast. Worked its way outside a few times.
Yep.
All the stuff on the outside, there were no mats at ringside. It was just straight on the hardwood floor.
Yep.
Back body drops, suplexes, all kinds of stuff that I imagine hurt your spine and ass when you hit the ground really hard. So,
Yep.
yeah. Inside the ring, though, is where the shit was shining. The thing I liked too about the street fight is that, while yes, they were outside a lot, they were wrestling. It wasn't all just brawling the
Yeah, it
entire
was
time.
suplexes and yeah.
Even whenever they were using some of the weapons, it was in a way to utilize a move. It wasn't all just fighting.
I'll tell you the thing I like. ATM dominated a lot of the match.
Mm-hmm.
He done it with wrestling.
Yeah, it was very... Bo Bond was in there like unrestrained rage.
Yeah.
ATM was very methodical.
He was doing crisp holds. You know, he dominated a lot of match. Bo came back a lot, but Bo would use like a cookie sheet or a chair, you know, whatever.
Speaking of cookie sheet, I took a picture of the point of impact with both men midair and that cookie sheet hitting ATM right in his mush. So, Independent Talent Podcast on Facebook. I'll just plug it till eventually people click on it. So.
But it was a great match. You don't see it that often. Bo did pick up the win with, it looked to me like a psycho driver. I'm not sure what he calls it. Yeah. It was like definitely that driver fireman carry position into a power driver.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was able to pick up the win.
There were a few spots in the match that, like, ATM put trash can between the top and middle turnbuckle. Didn't work out for him, as he was the one who went into it.
Yep.
The trash can lid was used deviously a number of occasions, such as Bo Bond on his stomach, trash can lid placed on his lower back,
Yep.
And then a double stomp onto the trash can lid. Edges down into Bo's back. Yeah, I mean, it was... As far as street fights go, from beginning to end, it was consistent.
Oh.
It was good. And it wasn't one of those matches where it seemed like even when ATM set up the trash can, it wasn't like, oh, he set up the trash can, now let's do the trash can spot.
Yeah.
Everything happened for a reason. It wasn't just we're going to fight here to set up for this. It was very much, it was really well done.
Yeah, it was.
So I dug it. So
it was
there you go.
probably the best match at night.
It was a good main event.
Yep. Main event worthy.
It was something enough where the crowd were a little more into it as they were on the outside. It may have helped that Bo was from around there. It may have helped that they thought they were going to see blood. It may have helped that the announcer had warned that they might get into the stands. So
multiple times.
Yeah, so people may have attempted that.
I'll tell you something else I like that they done.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just work one side of the ring when they went outside. They worked the far side. They came over the near side.
Mm-hmm.
They went completely around.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Everybody at the bleachers got to see some of the outside stuff.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing more of the two. Especially ATM. I love ATM. Yeah. But if they can put up this level of match,
how much do you love him?
He's a pretty cool guy. I mean, he's one of my favorites.
Oh no! Don't skirt it. Let's quantify. Let's quantify your love.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't suspend him from the podcast.
That's right. That's basically the same as you wouldn't kick him out of bed. That's you, Hogie. Yeah. Basically, ATM has taken your spot in every way imaginable.
Well, I mean,
I don't even know what that means, but it means something. So maybe next time JD Thunder asks you a damn question, you'll know the answer is JD Thunder.
Oh yeah, and in the interview for the position, I asked Rich Steamboat, and he knew. So, I mean, if he had a car, if he wouldn't have to walk from Hawaii, he would be the new Resident Wrestler story. I don't know how far away that is. It's like at least an hour.
Yeah, it's really a transportation issue with Vic.
Yeah, I mean, he could be here every week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not to take away from the main event of PTW, because it definitely was a great match and great show. They raised a bunch of money. Ton of money. The YMCA wound up donating the building money back.
Yeah. They raised almost $800 on that Saturday night.
Yeah.
The night before, or the weekend before, they had raised over $1,000. So they're well above their projected goal for the month anyway. Yep. And they still got 2 more shows coming up. So if you can hit those, go to them. They have a free show this coming Saturday in Georgetown. And I mean, yeah, they're doing the cancer fundraiser, and they're also doing a Toy for Tots drive. Like PTW is doing some good stuff with promotion of fundraising that we do like here at the podcast.
And it's not like, oh well, they had the show and they took a little money and they donated some money. No, every penny that this show made went to ovarian cancer.
Yeah. King Hustle got on the mic. Let people know that he is 50% owner of PTW.
Yep.
He's personally invested in this research project.
Yeah.
And it's not one of those things where like there's some type of hustle going down. That's the thing. These matches are really good.
Yeah.
These guys got paid nothing to do them.
Yeah.
And not in the, you suck, I'm not going to pay you anything. You come to wrestle me for free for experience. Like, these guys did this for free because of the charity event.
And some of these guys came out and even still gave money.
Yeah.
Stan did. Matt Sled did. A lot of the guys did.
Brandon Taggart.
Brandon Taggart did, yep. A lot of the guys just came out and they had kind of an altar call there, because they wanted to raise awareness for how important of a deal it was.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it was a great show, Hogie.
Yeah, it was Hogie.
Way to go. Way to go. Way to go.
Vic Steamboat would have been there if he could walk from Hawaii.
We don't know.
I don't know, but
Vic's probably asleep right now.
I have something to say after a while.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just hold it in.
Yeah.
Hold it in.
I'm trying the best I can.
So that's it for this edition of Making the Towns.
Yep.
Primetime Wrestling Edition.
Primetime Wrestling.
Who's the strap-on?
This is a completely real, gonna happen version of Who's the Strap-on. The segment of the show where we talk about who has the title of various indie promotions in the area. Last time we did this, we basically just complained about Hogie being a jackass and being suspended. Now he's back. This is his job, people. So this is the first part of your redemption.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first part of your walk. You're crawling up a metaphorical road of broken glass right now.
Yeah. Covered in salt
Yes.
and vinegar.
Yeah. And semen. Let's be fair. There's a lot less glass and a lot more semen on that road. So, Hogie, who's the strap on?
Okay. We're going to start out in Ohio Valley Wrestling.
All right. Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Well-known promotion.
Yep. Louisville.
Their current heavyweight champion is Chris Silvio.
Mm-hmm.
Very good wrestler.
Yep.
Their current TV champion is Devin Driscoll. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name.
Driscoll.
Yeah, I believe so. Their tag belts are not just OVW tag titles; they're OVW Southern Tag Team Champions.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's the team called Walk on the Wild Side. It is Robbie Walker and Adam Wild.
Hey,
That's clever.
that is clever.
Yeah,
Walker and Wild. Look at you guys.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. We'll go next.
Moving on to IWA Mid-South.
Mm-hmm.
The well-known promotion as well.
Yep.
Shane Mercer is their heavyweight champion.
Yep. Who Sexy Stan Sierra had a match with just last week.
It's true.
Sexy Stan Sierra talks about that match a little bit on Independent Talent episode 11, which you can listen to right after this one.
Yes. Next up, we're talking about Emerge.
Okay.
A promotion we've covered on the show before.
Yeah, yeah.
Their current champion is Donnie Idol.
Mm-hmm.
They have, I guess, considered like a U.S. kind of title. It's called the Outbreak Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Warfare, Jeremy Hadley
Okay.
is the champion. And then their tag champions are a team called Bad.
BAD?
Yeah. It's Chris Morris and Yukon Mike.
Yukon Mike. Yeah, yeah. Emerge is one that we're going to make a trip to.
Yep.
We just got to figure out the best time for us to do it. But they've been sending us when they have their big events. They've been sending us the results, which we like. We like it whenever indie. Just for future reference to anybody who might be listening who works at, runs, or owns an indie wrestling promotion. If you private message us the results of your events, we will read that shit.
We will.
And it's a lot easier than us tracking it down, especially if we don't make the show.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to talk about Resistance Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Their current champion is Surge D. And their tag champions is the team called Body Magic.
Body Magic. That sounds sexy.
Which is Brady Pierce and Eric St. Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
And then their women's champion is Crazy Mary Dobson.
Yeah.
I bet she's crazy.
Yeah. She is. She. The cool thing about her is she basically cosplays as every awesome pop culture thing.
Sweet.
For her matches. Horror stuff, whatever. Comic stuff. She does all of it. Yeah.
Next up, we're talking about PTW, which we covered in the last segment. They'll have one champion right now, and that is Stan Sierra.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sexy Stan.
Yep.
Who you can listen to on episode 11 of Independent Talent.
Yes. Next up, Kentucky's Own Wrestling, KZW.
Mm-hmm.
Their current heavyweight champion is Joe Edmonds.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Their U.S. title is currently vacant.
Abeyance holds the title.
Yeah. KZW, the title is vacant because Matt Pierce here at this table, who bought KZW with podcast money,
Yeah, because I went suspended.
vacated that shit.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
It's true.
Then
Who's Matt's tag champs?
it's Bad Attitude.
Bad Attitude.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they have the Bombshell title, which is a women's title.
Yep.
That is held by Lexi Green.
It is. Lexi Green, who we just talked about
Yes.
in the PTW segment.
Yep.
Yes. Next up, we're talking about New Origins Wrestling.
Okay.
Now, as a lot of people know it is.
Yep, yeah. They just started putting their newer promotion that has just started putting their titles out recently.
Yep.
Yes. Their current heavyweight champion is King Kong Dookie.
Love King Kong.
He's great.
And defeated, who we talked about earlier, Fiji Wildman,
Fiji, yeah.
defeated
Yes.
him in a
Yep.
casket
Casket
match.
In the middle of a fucking rainstorm.
Yeah,
Yes.
to capture that title. Yep.
And that same night, they crowned the United States champion, which
Yep.
is Izzy for real.
Yep.
And then their tag champions Love them. They're one of our favorites here on the show. The Heartbreakers.
Never heard of them.
Loverboy Brocklanders, Voodoo Child Stevie P.
Yes.
Couple of tags if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Taggiest people.
Next up, we're going to take a trip to Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, which is Wildcat Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
Their current heavyweight champion is Frank the Tank.
Yep.
And also, their quality champion is Frank the Tank. He has 2 belts.
He's big enough to handle 2.
That's right. And they also have a heritage champion, which is Devin Blake.
Yep,
We
Devin
talked about-
Blake, who Hogie caused us to fuck his name up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Devin Blake. Devin Blake is the heritage champion of WCCW, not John Blake, a.k.a.
call.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
A.K.A. Batman.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Batman 2.
Robin is his middle name. It is stupid.
Yeah, that's odd.
But yeah, Devin Blake, heritage champion.
Yeah, and then their tag champions currently is Sean Bain and Cody Matthews.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sean Bain, Cody Matthews. Sean Bain, who Izzy for real actually defeated to gain the first ever U.S. championship at Now.
Yes.
True.
Yep.
The last,
I was going to say, we were there for both those turns of events.
We were, indeed.
last person we're going to talk about is Kentuckiana Die Hard Wrestling.
Yep. We've been hearing a lot of good stuff out about them lately.
Yep.
We're also going to try to hit them soon.
Their current heavyweight champion is Brandon Abel.
Mhm.
And then their tag champions are the Elite, which is Nate Steele and Sexy Stan Sierra.
Hey,
Yep.
Sexy Stan,
Yeah.
who you can hear on episode 11 of Independent Talent Podcast, oddly enough.
I feel like you've said that a couple of times.
I might have, but sometimes you
Yeah.
just got to hammer that shit into people's foreheads, man, because they just don't listen. Hogie.
They also have a flyweight championship, which is Simon Says. I believe is his
Simon Says,
name.
yeah.
Yeah.
Simon says.
Flyweight.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like a cruiserweight kind of belt.
Yeah, but possibly lighter.
Yeah.
In flight here.
Possibly. Possibly.
Check it out.
There you go. So that's who the
That's
strap's
strap
on.
Yeah.
That's
Big
who-
old strap on.
Yeah.
That's who's,
Well, I mean, it didn't hurt the first time, though, so, you know.
well, the first time he just did the tip. This is the whole thing.
The rub.
Did you hear that? Did she give you a little bit of an erection when she said the title of this segment? Well, just don't admit it or tell us about it because we don't want to know. This is The Rub, the point of the show where we highlight an independent wrestler, personality, owner, really whatever we want that we think deserves its own
Spotlight.
Yeah, spotlight's probably the best word for the thing.
Well, I would use.
Yeah, that's what you did use.
Yeah.
Speaking of you are actually doing the rub tonight. Not in a physical way. That's Hogie's job because he's been in trouble. Who are we talking about tonight, Matt?
ATM, Austin Tyler Morris. We talked about him earlier. Had a great street fight. One of my favorites on the indie scene. Let's just go over some stuff real quickly. He's getting ready to come up in 5 years pro.
Okay.
He's a regular NWA Appalachia and NWA Smoky Mountain. Also a regular at PWR and PTW, and he does other spot shows here and there, when he can.
Yeah.
Likes to use the stock market crash as his finish.
Yeah. It's like a backstabber.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
He's been tag champions, WCCW, MWA. He was also WCCW Kentucky and United States champion. So, and just like, I like to watch a guy, he gets people to hate him, which seems to be like, I don't know, a lot of people don't really want people to hate them. They want people to think that they're like the cool bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's neat that he's like a traditional, goes out there and makes people hate him guy.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him as a face once,
Yeah.
and it was just weird.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his fault. It was just, I don't know.
It's just odd seeing him as face. But very crisp, good wrestling, which is another thing that, a lot of guys like to move from spot to spot maybe, but he's just, holds and great wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, he's good at getting the crowd riled up.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, just all around, like, Pro Wrestling Revolution, he's in a good group
Yep.
with Jordan Cage, the whole Russell Ryan Inc. deal. Really, everywhere we've seen him, he's in a fairly good position as far as on the card, storyline wise, like just overall, like he's
Yeah.
and he's a young guy.
Yeah, I mean he's young. He has a great look. He gets to people to chant ass to mouth at him.
Yeah, the ass to mouth chant thing is really the highlight. We heard that at WCCW. I've not heard it lately. I think maybe because people don't know it exists. Like, we need to put a plant in the crowd
Make a sign.
to really make it push home that you should chant ass to mouth, because that's obviously the best way to use his initials for any type of anything.
He did have a couple times he had like trunks that had dollars all over them.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
And it makes sense for
Yeah.
the name.
Yeah. But yeah, I like that he's really solid, and he's a pretty cool guy. I met him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's really nice.
Well, he's one of those guys too that, like, from the time we've seen him, just say, like last year,
Yeah.
when we were just starting some of this stuff,
Yeah.
to now, he's leaps and bounds above what he was then.
Yeah, I mean, he's improving himself, which is what you got to do.
Yeah.
He's getting himself more out there. He's more, it's like, oh, let's go to some show, and oh, he's there, and people know about him, you know, and he's spread himself out. He's not just focusing on one or two companies.
Well, plus one thing I've noticed, even with us, is like, he'll ask opinions about his matches.
Yeah.
Like how he can improve, what do you think of it, and he sincerely wants to know.
Yeah.
And I know that he asks, from some of the guys I've talked to, like he asks them about it. Some veteran guys that, you know, have legitimately good, like they're good guys to ask. Like they can help you out. So, I mean, he's all about improving, and he doesn't think that he's too big to not be able to do that.
Right.
And I
there are
think that's a big bonus.
A lot of guys who won't do that.
Yeah, there are some guys who, and some of the guys are younger, and they seem like they're stuck in their way and act like they're, you know,
like
one or two promotions they go to, and like they don't need to improve because they've got that stuff down. But it's like, well, yeah, but he obviously wants to wrestle all over the place, so he's, you know, working on improving his craft.
Yeah,
which you'd think, I mean, that's the goal of any careers, you know. So
you'd think, just better yourself and better people around you. Mm-hmm. If you want to take a look at him, maybe book him. He has an email. It's bookatmwrestle@gmail.com. You know, send him an email there. Get him up on Facebook. He'll, you know, talk to him, see if he'll work for you. And I mean, if you can get him, he'd be a great get for any company's roster.
Yeah. We don't recommend a lot of people on the show. That's kind of what the rub is.
Yeah.
Like, we're either recommending you go see people, or we're recommending that you get these people for your promotion.
Yeah.
Not that our opinion really amounts to shit, but if it does in some way, that's what this is. So if you get a chance to hit up PWR or Primetime Wrestling or NWA Appalachia
or NWA Smoky Mountain.
Yeah. Or any shows that you see on the poster, ATM is on. At least him, you most likely, now that we've set ourselves up for failure, you most likely won't be disappointed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's just main event PTW. So, I mean, he's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Check him out.
There you go. And that is the rub.
That's the rub.
In all of its rubbing glory. Just, I kind of like just saying rub. Rub.
Hogie doesn't get to say rub. He has to do rub.
Yeah, quit saying it.
Yeah.
Let me get these pants off.
And there's the roll-up.
And that is episode 12 of Independent Talent Podcast. We are done with this bitch, I think. Well, unless somebody's got anything to say.
Yeah.
Matt? Hogie? What does it pertain to?
It remains to JD Thunder in this whole situation.
I'll allow it. All right, Hogie.
Okay.
The mic is yours, sir.
JD Thunder, you started something with me. You thought you were funny and cute with it. You weren't. You embarrassed me. You embarrassed me in front of my son. You embarrassed me in front of my wife, who threatens to leave me daily now. You embarrassed me in front of these good men on this show that I respect. And you embarrassed me in front of the great fans of this show. So therefore, on October 3rd, when you come back to our hometown for whatever wrestling you're doing at UCW, I'm going to be there. So you bring whoever you want. I don't care. You bring Jamie Dundee. I don't care. Because you're not going to get the nice, friendly wrestling historian no more. You're going to get a nightmare. The American Nightmare, Drew Masters. And that's a fact.
Did you just threaten to fight JD Thunder?
No, we're going to talk about wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to do a quiz, right?
Yeah.
This is a quiz.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight him or nothing. Fuck no.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you're not even licensed.
We're getting fined for that shit if we do that. Yeah, Gonerman will get mad.
And this good man on the podcast?
No, he's right about that.
Hey, we're kind of okay.
We're okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's right. JD Thunder and Hogie, if we can make this happen, assuming nobody's chicken, we are going to have a quiz off on a new segment we've not used called Who Wants a Ticket for the 50-50?
Yeah.
And we're going to be asked some trivia questions between the two and see who is really, really knowledgeable on the subjects that we choose to ask questions about.
Yep.
Probably wrestling related.
Maybe
about my dick. Who knows? We'll see. Hoagie'd know that one.
Yeah, he would.
That's it for Independent episode 12. Here's Cheyenne to tell you how to get a hold of us. Yeah, there you go. 12.
This might be the end of the episode, but the beat goes on for Independent Talent Online. Check out news, upcoming events, and massive photo galleries by liking the Independent Talent Podcast Facebook page. Also, feel free to hit us up with your opinions, suggestions, bitching, and moaning by sending emails to independenttalentpodcast@gmail.com. Oh, and for the love of wrestling, please support your local indie federations. Now get moving! We've got to get these chairs stacked and the trailer loaded.